Howdy everyone. We're working on some new setups tonight. We're going to work on some of these audio things too. If you could help out, how does the audio sound? My voice over the music? I'd love to know. But hope everyone is doing great this wonderful Sunday evening. Here it's about 4 o'clock on the West Coast. I think the East Coasters are coming up on 7 o'clock. You know, it's wild. Sundown hasn't even happened yet for you, which is just bonkers. I think I was outside like 8:15 last night. It was still sunny. Able to walk around. It's mind-blowing. But I hope everyone's having a good time tonight. We're going to be kicking off a music's drowning me out here. Let me turn it down a little bit. Or let me turn myself up a bit. I think that was a more effective means of making things work. And then I'll bring the music down a touch too. I had to go through and change a few settings the other day, so I haven't had a chance to pre-test everything before the show actually got up and going. Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Forgive my lack of pizzazz right now. We're dealing with a couple of small things on the back end, but hopefully we'll have everything good here in no time at all. Let's get this party started. Somebody just told me that they use flat rate mediums to deliver expensive disc. And I just said there's absolutely no reason to be doing that. And apparently they've been doing that for quite a while. And they even put up a poster right now saying, is there anyone in the Bakersfield area who's flat rate mediums? It was just like, I can't remember the last time I've used a flat rate medium to ship a flat rate medium. Okay, let's see who we got in the house tonight. We got Dragon Value Home. How you doing? I think it's the first time I've seen you. I don't know if we've talked outside of the show, but hello to you. One of my favorites, Rhiannon. You're always here first. I truly appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for your silent support. I know you're always coming and going and we rarely get a chance to talk, but I do appreciate it. Mr. Exquisite in the house. Hope that, what was it, FMCI? I hope that panned out for you on the back end. I don't know, what is it at today? Have we looked at it? Those of you who don't know, it's a stock that I pointed him and a couple other people in the direction of. FMCI stock? Or is it FMIC? FMCI at 13.14. You know, I had a feeling it would stay flat when that merger happened. I did not think... Oh, you thinking on Monday? Okay. Let's see what happens Monday. I'm curious. If it goes up $1, I'll be a little bit surprised, but I could see it maybe down tracing a little bit. But yeah, let me know. Keep me posted. I'm curious. Mike T in the house, the one and only. Good to have you as well, brother. Always appreciated. And you know what's crazy? I didn't. You know what? I'm not gonna say that on air because you said that in group chat. But yeah, I'll message you later about it. I appreciate you greatly. We got Sherry Honeybee. Hello to you. Thanks for dropping on in. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with your face or who you are, but I am happy to have you. Maui Delights. Long time no see. Man, I think you had like a 7-week streak going for a bit, and I haven't seen you in a few, but happy to have you. Actually, did you come in at the end of the last show? Is that what it was? Somebody gave me a $5 super chat at the end of the last show, but the show had already ended. I'm trying to remember who that was right now. I got a super chat. Let me find my super chat receipt so I can see who that was. Don't wanna have somebody go unappreciated. I might not be able to find it. I apologize. It was you! That's who okay, thank you so much for that. We'll get you a thank you on air during the main show. We'll get that going for you. It was really appreciated too. I'll save the sentiment then for once we get things up and running. I don't even think we have any new patrons this week either. Guys, if you haven't signed up for Patreon yet, here, I'll put the thing in the chat. You got a chance to sign up right now and get that free store audit as well. That's $100 value when we do those store audits for people, and they're guaranteed to improve your store and help you make more money. We don't BS about stuff like that. But if you haven't signed up yet, there's the link in the description. Right now, I believe it's only $20. You can sign up for our base tier, which gets you group chat. You'll get a free $100 store audit. You get all kinds of great perks, direct access if you need it too. It's fantastic. And don't get me wrong, we love the super chats, but I want to make sure you get as much value as possible. As a reseller, it's all about that value. What the heck else was I going to look up too? The group chat is cool too. Dang right it is. Wanted to make sure we didn't have any new patrons slip under the radar before this show got started. Let's see. Nope, nobody new today. We got 31 right now. That's great. That's a great number. Who else do we have in the house tonight? We got, obviously, Maui Delights. Hello to you. Thanks for being here again. And then we got a bunch of lurkers. People lurking. People hiding. Yes, you do lurk. I see some people come and go. I only see their tiny face in group chat, but I never hear them say anything. Tonight's going to be, should be a pretty solid show. It's going to be a long one tonight. If you haven't had dinner yet, if you haven't fixed yourself a snack, a glass of water, if you can't catch the whole thing, definitely catch the replay. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff. Some interesting thoughts and tidbits regarding some of the changes that are going on in the different marketplaces, and some stuff that we're going to be following over the next couple of weeks as well. And then some great personal developments in my life too. There we go. Howdy to you, Brandy. Good to see you in here. I hope your evening is going well. It is nice to know that we can have a nice gathering of so many different people in one place. You know, this has been a very, man, it's been a divisive month. It's been a divisive year. 4 years, frankly. Very divisive, and it's nice that we can all come together and enjoy this show under one roof. The naked cats and alpaca. I saw a hairless cat the other day at a little dinner party that I went to. It's the first time I've ever seen one in person before. It's a pile of skin on top of a skeleton, essentially. Cutest damn thing I've ever seen. I definitely want one now. I gotta stop looking to the side for those comments. I got them on my screen in front of me for a reason. Let me just pull down this monitor really quick. There we go. I monitor my own stream just to make sure everything's working, and I do it on a different screen, but I have a bad habit of reading the comments on that screen too for no good reason. There we go. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. 2-minute countdown, guys. If you guys have any questions before the show, now's a great time to ask them. If you have any reselling related stuff you want to know, or stuff that you want to get thrown into the mix on today's show, by all means. If there's a news article that you heard about, you want me to touch base on, you think I might miss, by all means, throw it in there. I do hope everyone is doing good out there today. We're going to have some new faces popping in tonight. I met some great people at the swap meet today. And yes, the swap meet. The return of the swap meets has been a huge, huge thing for me. It's been a blast to be able to get back out there and work and source for inventory like I did the classic way. I do not like sourcing online. I do not enjoy drop shipping or OA. It's no fun at all. I like getting out, meeting people. I hate to say it, shaking hands and you know, just actually interacting with the public. And I understand that the concerns and risk associated with that currently, but you know, here in California, especially here in Kern County, we have some of the lowest numbers in the nation, and I think it's for good reason. You know, we're pretty damn spread out here, so I don't think there's as much to worry about, but a lot of people are being very mindful. I see masks and everyone's carrying sanitizer. The vendors at the swap meet even had sanitizer, which was good to see as well. So yeah, that human interaction is so important, and it's good for the soul too. It was really, really surprising just how like off kilter I got from not being able to interact with other people on a day-to-day basis, or even like a week-by-week basis. One second. There we go. That's better. You guys ready for a kick-ass show tonight? I promise. I'm gonna go from like a 2 to like a 200. That's what they say, right? The moment that timer hits 0 and we start this show, it's gonna be like a whole nother person. That's funny, Brandy. Those of you who don't catch the pre-show and you're watching this later, you're really missing out. It's a great opportunity to interact with other people. Let's get this party started. What is going on, guys? This is Jay Kraft with the Facebook group All Around Pickers Lounge, coming at you live again from beautiful Bakersfield, California. Today is June 14th, 2020, and I have a fantastic show in store for you. Now, if you saw the thumbnail, you already know we've got pickups back again for the first time in what, 3, 4, 5 months? Ever since the Rona hit the West Coast, I haven't been able to source. But beyond the pickups, because I know you're here for some news and some information, and if you're lucky, a little bit of some free practical training, we're going to be covering some big stories this week. We're going to be talking about Jordan Sweetnam dropping another banger on his Facebook page, talking about some of the changes that are happening to the market. We're going to be talking about Traffic Month, which is a new initiative for eBay sellers to be able to get a boost to their sales, and what eBay is going to be doing. We're going to show you a little bit of a video to go along with that as well. And we got some seller survey confusion, I guess, going on between eBay and sellers. We have USPS rolling out a new loyalty program, and what you need to know, or frankly don't need to know about that program. And we're also going to have a good time, believe it or not. I know that some people come here specifically to have a bad time. And for those of you, I'm sorry, this isn't going to be that. We're going to have a great time tonight. Now, if you missed out on last week's show, we talked about, 2 weeks back, we talked about managed payments. And there's a lot going on with that. If you missed it, I recommend you go back and check that out. On top of that, we talked about category restrictions. We talked about Amazon and issues with cancellations. And we also talked about strategy. We talked about practical training for buying during the pandemic, what you need to know, and how you can more effectively stretch your dollar, maximize your margin, increase the amount of money that you're making week over week and sale over sale, just by following a few simple tips while you're out there doing your sourcing. I always recommend you watch every episode. And now I know some people, they don't tune in because they can't handle more than a 10 or 15 minute video. I get that. There's a lot of really great content in that 10 to 15 minute category, and there's even a lot of garbage content in that 10 to 15 minute category. But if you're tuning into this, I don't even want you to just tune in. I don't want you to do just this when you're watching my show. Please pick up a camera, start photographing your inventory, look over your listings, check pricing, check for typos, check for your item specifics. Do something while you're engaged with this program, and don't just veg out for 2 hours. Now, I'm not trying to shame anyone who has a bag of potato chips under one arm and a caramel macchiato in the other. If that's what you want to do, then great. Don't turn off the show just because I said that. But try and get a little bit of productivity going. And sometimes even it can be as simple as browsing through Marketplace, or browsing through Craigslist, or browsing through Mercari or eBay for some undervalued goods and see about buying them and getting them sent to you. This is a grand opportunity while you're in with the rest of us, like-minded individuals, talking about reselling and talking about success, and who've all chosen to come together right now. Take that energy and that momentum and make something with it. We're going to be talking about brand momentum here a little bit later in the show and the importance of that. Now, before we get into the news, what I want to talk to you about really quick is something really fascinating that, I got an opportunity to watch firsthand this week. And nothing brings me greater joy than seeing a person choose to make the active decision to step away from the profession that they know well to move into a brand new profession such as reselling. Now, obviously for this example, us as resellers, this is the most relatable example I can give you, but it happens all the time. I've seen people leave the oil industry to go become barbers. I've seen mechanics leave to go be accountants. A lot of people make these transitions in life, but it always seems for some reason the most difficult transition that anyone can make is from hourly or salary to full-on self-employment, whether that's starting your own business or becoming a partner with somebody else or just developing out an idea to be self-sufficient and to be able to maintain a successful living for yourself free of the requirements of others, whether that be punching in at a certain time or filling a quota, whatever it might be. Now, this transition is a big one. Now, most of us have taken that, but I would say probably about 50% of the people who watch this show still have a traditional day job. Now, I use that phrasing because the work that we do as resellers, those of you who are full-time, it is a real job. And I know some people will downplay or lessen the value of self-employment when it's spoken with in relation to eBay and Amazon or Mercari or whatever it may be, but it is a real job. So when I say traditional work, I'm talking about punching in, doing your 9 to 5. Making that transition across as a reseller is hard. And like I said, 50% of you out there still have that job and you don't want to let go of it. And I don't blame you, okay? It is challenging. I have an Excel sticker. Oh my gosh, thank you for that. Just saw the comment. And I would probably say about another 10% of the people who watch this show, and this might seem shocking to you, have never sold a single item online ever. And some of you watch for the news, some of you watch because you're just like me, some of you watch because you find this show entertaining, but I would say 90% of those people who are in that 10% category are just a little bit too afraid to pull the trigger. And I'm also going to say that of those 50% of you who still have a traditional day job, you would most likely really like to be a full-time reseller. You would love the opportunity to make that jump. And it's difficult. Now, if you're one of those people that is a partner of that person or a friend of that person looking to make that jump, if they're capable of it, it's your job to encourage them and support them and guide them to be able to make that jump, to make that leap, because it's a difficult one. It's full of anxiety. It's stressful. And frankly, for a lot of people making that jump, it's going to be one of the riskiest things that you do with your entire life. Regardless of the amount of nest egg that you have or, liquidity or capital sitting behind you, making that jump and saying, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm really going to do this. I'm going to be self-employed. I'm going to make this happen for me. Gosh, that can be very challenging because it requires a lot of things to be able to pull off. You have to be very intelligent. Stupid people, sure, any stupid person can succeed, but intelligence is what takes you all the way through. Because, even what do they say, that even a broken clock is right twice a day? But to be perpetually right, you're going to have to carry a certain amount of intelligence with you. Now, obviously, you can gather it, sure. You're going to need a good support system, whether that's friends or family or a partner. You're going to need to know that you have people that maybe you can talk to about what you're doing, get support and encouragement from them, maybe be able to even source from them or get a little word of mouth advertising going. You're going to need the finances, the money to be able to do your first buys, the money to be able to carry you through until that revenue starts coming in. You're going to need a strong mentor. Okay? And I've always said this, I don't care who your mentor is, me or anybody else, a good mentor will take you far. And selecting a good one means you don't pick the person who's been doing eBay for 3 months. Okay? You find the person who's been doing eBay for 10 years, the person who's been doing auctions for 15 years, somebody who is reputable. A good mentor will take you far. A serious work ethic, okay? A desire and a belief to get yourself up in the morning and be successful each and every day. That work ethic, that drive is what will drive your business to success. Without it, you will fail. Time management, organizational skills, okay? These things go hand in hand. You must have those as well. Technical ability, your ability to be able to efficiently and effectively use technology to be able to further your business, whether that's your cell phone for looking up inventory, a camera and lighting equipment to be able to take great photos, and a personal desire to be successful. That desire that should rest within each one of us. Now, I do meet a lot of people who are desiring money or desiring success, but they aren't necessarily desiring the process to which that success is gained. I could go and be a maintenance porter, a janitor, a repairman all in one, and I could get $22 an hour, and guess what? I could probably do that until I retire, and I'll make enough money to get by, and I'll have a comfy existence. But I won't enjoy the process to be able to get that success. And to be successful as a reseller, you should enjoy the process. You should enjoy sourcing. You should enjoy talking to people. You should enjoy being outdoors. You should enjoy meeting new people, working with inventory, cleaning, testing, photography, and a willingness to trade time now for time later. That's what it is. Recently, I purchased a new car for myself. Not new, but 2014. And boy, is it lovely. It is so lovely to have a car with a driver's window I can roll all the way down and not be afraid that it won't come back up again. Okay? Boy, is it lovely to be able to sit at a light and not have anxiety that my engine might start puffing smoke out again. Or that I might be able to use a valet and not have to worry about the doors locking on their own. Sometimes we have to trade a little time now for a little time later. We have to build that value over time. If you are thinking about taking that jump and you need somebody to grab you by the hand and help you make that jump, please reach out. But I just wanted to share these words with you and help you understand that you may not consider this to be a real job, and other people around you might not. But I'll tell you right now, I can't think of another job that requires that level of expertise across so many categories just to be able to find the mildest semblance of success. If you're a reseller and you're successful, you should pat yourself on the back every day. And if you have made that jump and you are full-time, working 100% and that's your income, congratulations. It's very impressive, whether that's $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month. If you've made it, congrats to you. And those who haven't, I eagerly await you making that jump as well. Just wanted to drop that with you really quick. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into today's news. But before we do, let's go ahead and give a quick thank you. Oh, will I be able to show this? Let's see. Boom. Let's give a quick thank you to our patrons for helping make this show possible. You're going to notice we got a little bit of a redo up here. We've had some people leave and some people come in. Let's give an extra special thank you to Ashley, Anna and Joe, Brandy, Rob, Tina, Benjamin, and JRB, one of our newest patrons. Thank you so much for coming on in. I appreciate you all. And on top of that, at the end of last week's show, before we went off air, just at the very, very end, we got a $5 super chat from Maui Delights, and I just wanted to give you a personal thank you for that. That's the first one I think I've gotten in weeks. You're going to have to forgive the coughing. I don't know if it's these lights. I'm going to have to do something. I have an air mist thing going back here running on high. I got a moisture detector over here. We're going to do our best to figure out what's causing it in this room. One day we'll get it figured out. I might even be moving the office here soon. Something's going to happen. But thank you to all of our patrons for helping make this show possible. Whoa, one too many there. Now we're going to go ahead and scooch on over into our news. I'm actually going to take this off screen. We are working on some brand new assets right now to where we're going to have videos coming on and off screen between the different segments, because I don't like having too much stuff on screen anymore. It's difficult for people who are just kind of coming and going. But let's just jump into the news, guys. Did you do what I said? Did you go check out Jordan Sweetnam's Facebook page yet? Jordan Sweetnam, Senior Vice President of Marketing for the Americas Market for eBay, has been posting some incredible content over the last month. For the first time ever, I feel like eBay is stepping up and saying, hey, you guys want to know a secret? Check this out. And it's like shoveling out little bits of content. Go follow him, send him a friend request on Facebook. He has a business profile and a friend one. And like I said, I don't know if he runs his own Facebook page or if that's just one being done by eBay. But they're slipping out details that are better than anything I've ever gotten in an eBay message. And I'm going to be sharing with you one of the letters that was posted on there. We shared it within our Patron Lounge last week. If you haven't checked it out, please do. Guys, they're launching a new national TV ad this month. I can't remember the last time I saw a TV ad. Now, here's the thing, okay? It can go one of two directions. Either one, they can attempt to pander to the very interesting climate that we have going on politically and socially here in America and even globally to a sense. That would be horrific. Or they could just do the very, very smart play and just pitch it as like, yo, eBay is still a thing. Come on down and buy some stuff. eBay was stated as saying, and I quote, eBay will be returning to national TV this month with a campaign that focuses on our small and medium business sellers. This is one example of how we are investing everything we can to keep eBay top of mind. In the past, you've heard us say that TV isn't a top priority, but a lot has changed and we're excited to get your message out there. Now, here's the thing, okay? Traditional TV advertising is dying very, very quickly. Now, if you want to be able to use, the nationwide end of things and you're willing to spend those bucks for nationwide TV ads, sure, there's still some value in that. But it's very important to understand what key demographics are still consuming traditional TV. We're talking people in their 40s, 50s, and older. Okay, I myself, as a 35, 34-year-old male, do not use traditional TV. Even when it comes to things like Hulu and Netflix, I'm not even tuning into traditional TV there. I'm watching movies and I'm watching YouTube and I'll watch some people's streams here and there, and that's really all the content I'm consuming. I do appreciate the fact that eBay is stepping up to the table and creating some ads, but the next generation of consumers aren't using TV. We're using our smartphones and YouTubes and stuff of the like for entertainment, and those ad dollars would be spent better on Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and sites of that nature. That's where the traffic is right now, and I feel that the dollars might not be as effective as far as long-term, high-quality clients and their ability to retain those. Getting somebody in their 50s back again onto the platform is great. Whoop-dee, cool. They're going to go on there and they're going to buy some items for the household. Lovely. But we need to engage with the audience that's, frankly, 14 on up to probably about 35. You know, that generation that wasn't really exposed to eBay growing up the same way that my generation was exposed to it. That's what we need to see. So I'm excited, yes, spend some ad money, sure, lovely, but we need to do more than that. On top of that, they said store subscribers right now are going to be getting an extra shipping coupon. Now, I've used mine, and there's a little bit of confusion regarding this as well. If you have a store subscription, whatever value your coupon is at, whether it be 25, 50, 100, whatever it may be, you are receiving an additional one. Now, if you go to your eBay inbox, it should be there. If you can't find it there, you can find it under your store promotions drop down under your overview page on eBay. Just go to subscriber discounts, and it should be there. If you're still having problems finding it, I believe the code is generic, as long as you punch it in. Now, people are upset because a lot of the desirable products are simply gone. And I'm going to go ahead and double down. I haven't seen anyone talking about this. Some of the prices that they're charging are just bonkers. I have noticed nothing but prices going up and the quality of the products going down. Remember when the poly bubbles had an extra layer of seal so that way they could be used twice? That's gone. Okay, the multicolor packaging, that's gone. The overall quality of the materials, even the 6x4x4 cardboard boxes now have a lower crush capacity. They're being made by a different vendor, and they're no longer using virgin fiber, which means brand new unused cardboard. They're using, brand new unused, corrugate. They're using recycled corrugate now, and it's just not the same quality as before, and you're just really not getting a great value for your money like you did historically. It's a little bit frustrating, but hey, right? We can't be upset, right? We're getting free shipping supplies. I mean, that's kind of what they're saying. Like, hey, here you go. We know you're shipping a lot of stuff. Have some more shipping supplies. And remember, we're not stupid. We understand that every package that goes out the door is an advertisement for eBay. They're getting that little bitty, logo on the side of their box. And I did notice that they have gone from a very brightly colored one to a solid black. And who does that remind you of? Amazon. Just a much more cleaner, easily digestible logo, which, like I said, I like the color, but I get why they're doing it. But it's a lot of cost-cutting, measures that are in place right now. Other people are upset because all of the available packages just simply aren't there. The store got gutted. And I'll tell you, it's going to be the same way as we roll into Q3, which I can't believe is only 2 weeks away. Q3 starts in 2 weeks. It's mind-blowing to me. Now, one of the commenters on this said, eBay issued a press release about the shipping supplies on the same day it sent sellers news of a fee hike for its store owners. And this was back when the shipping supplies first came out. And the strategy worked. Media outlets picked up the story about eBay boxes without mentioning news contained in the 2016 Spring Seller Update. And specifically what they're referring to is the 25% increase on cost for basic and premium stores and the 75% increase for anchor stores. So the reality is, every single quarter, are we actually getting free shipping supplies? No, because they jammed the rates up when they introduced this new program. We're essentially paying for our own shipping supplies in lieu of the price increase. And I'll tell you, these shipping supplies, it's only going to be a matter of time before they either roll down the value, raise the store fees, or eliminate the program altogether. Okay, once they get enough exposure and enough reach, trust me, if eBay was top dog right now and eBay was sitting in Amazon's position, do you think they would be giving you free shipping supplies every quarter? They wouldn't need to. They need us right now, and that's why they're doing it. Hello to the 32 people who are in right now. I appreciate you. Now, business for eBay on the pure numbers play end of things, and this was all in Sweetnam's address that he put on his Facebook, are strong right now. There's no denying that. And it's very rare for eBay to step up and say, hey, here's our numbers, here's how we're doing, before a shareholder call. If anything, I think there might even be some FTC concerns, but I'm not one to speak on those things. Maybe ask Mr. Exquisite. He knows a lot more about these things than I do. But they're saying for Q2, they're up 23 to 26% GMV. Now, they didn't say if that's over Q1. They didn't say if that's year over year from Q2 last year, which I don't think. I think that anything they had done this year would be better than Q2 of last year. Q2 was trash last year. On top of that, they said 6 million new and returning sellers coming back to the platform. So a returning seller is a seller who had gone essentially inactive for over a year, coming back to the platform and becoming an active seller again. So if you've sold an item within the last year, you're considered an active seller. So they have people coming back and they have brand new sellers. Now, these new sellers, I think we understand why this is happening. It's because of COVID, right? You got brand new people coming to the market who need to free up capital, whether that be selling items from their business or selling personal items to free up money to be able to keep themselves afloat. I've been seeing a lot of it. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy new sellers just as much as the next person, but we do have to be careful of some of the concerns because it is a pros and cons thing. We talked about 2 weeks ago. Definitely check it out if you missed it. They said that some of the key categories that we're seeing an increase in are for used goods, and keep in mind they mentioned small and medium-sized businesses for the TV ad, and now we're talking about used goods. We're talking about home and garden, collectibles, electronics, fashions. Those are the types of categories that are on the rise right now for used. I really can't wait. Now, maybe the TV's ad is out and I missed it. Like I said, I don't watch TV, but I can't wait to see this ad and see if it actually has an impact on sales. Tens of thousands of small businesses, they said, are coming to the platform for the first time. And it's in very much so working to increase the traffic on the site. Now, that being said, eBay is actually working on a program this month. If you haven't heard about it yet, it's called Traffic Month. And what Traffic Month is hey, let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys too. Traffic Month is how they plan to bring buyers back to the platform. And also note the fact that they said it's not just about driving bulk traffic, it's about connecting the needs of buyers to your listings. And frankly, I don't know what that means. I don't know how you connect the needs of a buyer to your listings, because the only need that I really have for my buyers is just straight up just desire. People want random junk, and I can't convince somebody that a 1960s Lucky Brand horseshoe set is going to be something that I can evoke a need other than desire. So they're saying week 1, how our marketing brings in the right customers. Okay. Week 2, Google Shopping and how to ensure your listings show up. Week 3, connecting with more buyers through social media. Week 4, driving traffic and earning with the eBay Partners Network. Now, we're going to talk more about the week 4 thing, because at one point in time, we did have a different affiliate program, and that's gone now, which is wild. So there's going to be a little bit more to talk about on that moving forward. But I am happy to see that eBay is recognizing the needs of the everyday sellers, and we come to them and say, hey, give us the damn traffic, okay? And give it to us in a means that we don't have to pay for it. Don't charge us more for it. You guys are making money hand over fist, because if you're going to make an extra 23 to 26% on the backbone of the sellers who are helping inflate your stock value and helping you make more money, you really should give us more bang for our buck. You should be giving us more value, and you should be enticing more people to continue to come. Because it's about not only having that momentum, but it's about retaining it as well. For the first-time sellers can now sell 5 items for free. So as we talked about earlier, there's a bunch of you out there who haven't made that jump yet. If you're considering making that jump, you can sell 5 items of any amount, pay no list, and pay no final value fee. And on top of that, you can also list 200 items a month right now, fee-free. I don't know how long that's going to last for, but it's something that you can start on right now. When it comes to this momentum, though, we want to ensure, or I want eBay to ensure us, that it's not going to be the same thing as the fidget spinners from a year or two back was previously, where they spent all this money and they acquired new customers, and customers came in and they bought a few things, and then before you know it, those people were gone and they didn't stick around. Because if you don't remember, it was the toy that the fidget spinners and such that drove strong volume in Q4 last year. Okay, and if we look further back, when we look at 2019, they were down 9% for Q4 2019. Excuse me. So the fidget spinners were 2018. Excuse me. And last year they said that in 2019 they blamed internet sales tax as the reason why GMV was down. And in 2018, if you don't remember, we had fidget spinners, plus they used an insane amount of coupons to be able to drive GMV up. There's a lot of concerns too that I've seen all over the internet over the last 6 months or so. People talking about things like the usage of multiple accounts, miscalculations of GMV as far as what actually constitutes a sale. If a sale is done but the person isn't paid, they're still counting those. If $10 million worth of volume happened on price gouging listings and they remove those listings, they're still counting those sales, okay, even though they might be removed from the sites. There's a lot of concerns that the numbers might be getting micked a little bit, because even when you look at things like active buyers, if I told you that there's 100 million active buyers on the site, what is an active buyer? Okay, and a lot of people simply don't know. It's anyone who's made a purchase within the last 12 months. And me personally, okay, I don't consider that an active buyer within my business. If Joe Blow bought a set of rubber stamps off of me 11 months ago, would I consider him a regular customer? Okay, no. And I certainly wouldn't consider him an active buyer. So these are some of the things that actually worry people sometimes when it comes to eBay's numbers and how they're actually representing themselves online. Sometimes I wonder if what I do for a living with my business and my brand and my life and whatever else, I wonder if it's me just being very lucky over and over and over again, just a series of very fortunate events happening to me, or if I'm actually good at what I do. Sometimes I think that same way about eBay. Are they actually in control of what they are doing, or are they just getting very, very lucky over and over and over again? Because it would be foolish not to stop and realize the fact that COVID is 100% the reason why we have seen triple-digit number increases in specific categories over the last 90 to 120 days. But I don't think that they really want to talk about that, and I think they would like the shareholders to just believe there's just a massive spike in online interest for eBay. I don't know. It's interesting. Now, you guys know, and we're going to touch on this topic very, very lightly. Before the show started, we were talking about how the nation's been divided on a plethora of issues, and I've said that this has been going on for over 4 years now. And there's a lot of things. I don't care if you're red or blue. I don't care if you're black or white. I don't care what type of platform you sell on. I don't care what type of work you do. I don't care what type of brand you have. It's none of my concern, okay? But there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and we're not going to go deep into detail. But I watched a very, very interesting video, and I posted it to my personal timeline, talking about equity value and the gap between for specific races. Now, I don't have a firm statement on this, but what I do want to say is that I would like to make a personal commitment to help any business out there of a person of color who would like assistance. And the reason I say that is because I am very, very fortunate to be able to have a successful business at what I am doing. And I understand there's many challenges for many business owners that are very difficult to overcome. And one of those barriers is access to information, access to mentorship, access to quality help to be able to guide those businesses along, especially in the early stages. I would like to contribute 300 hours before the end of the year to help businesses with business owners of color who feel that they would like assistance to be able to help scale their business. This is going to be a free opportunity for anyone who is viewing now And if you know of any organizations or charities that I could phone into or be a part of web seminars or to be able to work hand in hand with any business, please reach out to me. Visit our website, bolorama.com, send me a message request, and we would love to help get your business going along. And we're offering 300 hours for any business between now and the end of the year. That's all I really have to say on that one. But if you need the help or you would like it, please let me know, and we'll do everything that we can to help out. So, like I said, visit bolorama.com and send us a message, and we'll be happy to help you out. Moving on, eBay launched a survey this week, and people were pretty upset about it. The survey was supposed to take about 20 minutes. Some people were saying that it took 30 to 40 minutes, and one person said that they were going through it pretty quick and took them about an hour and 15 minutes to do. And thank you for the praise, guys. I do appreciate it, but if you guys want to have an off-air stream sometime where we can talk about these things, I want you to know, I would love to do that outside of this show sometime. And if you haven't found me on Facebook, send me a friend request. There's some great content that I posted up there that's really, really interesting and frankly, truly thought-provoking. But moving on, there's many people that are irritated by this survey. One of the things being the fact that there's a lot of repetition in the questions and that eBay has the answers to some of the questions that they're asking, things such as a specific sales volume within categories that they don't need to be asking. But they probed in deeply on things regarding seller habits and the usage of other platforms to generate revenue online. Now, the problem with all of this is that it doesn't seem like any of the surveys I answer matter. I have never seen eBay ever step up and say, you know what? You said this and we're listening, so we're making this change for you. Give me one example. One example. Just one. So I stopped doing these surveys because I just don't see a reason to do them. I'm not gaining anything from it. If they gave me, $5 in eBay bucks, $10 in eBay bucks for, a half-hour long survey, sure, whatever, I'll do it. But because they're not doing this, and the only people who are really doing it are the ones who are really angry now, they're not getting good data because of it. This is a waste of everyone's time. Please do not do this survey. But I'm only saying this so that eBay can better understand the fact that what they are attempting to do is simply not going to work when it's being done this way. One person wrote in a great suggestion, and they said that one of the best ideas that eBay could have would be splitting the eBay into two sites, one auction site and one buy it now site. And I think that for this next generation, I think it could definitely ease up a lot of the confusion as far as how the platform works. I see some people come there and they say, I don't know if I'm buying stuff or if I'm bidding on stuff. I have no clue. So not only do we have that, but there's also a significant lack of trust between consumers or sellers and buyers and eBay. And we have to remember, eBay is our sales partner with this process. Okay. If there's that lack of trust between the two, where if I have an opinion or a feeling and it doesn't get listened to, or if I step up to the table and say, hey, there's a significant issue going on, please address this issue, and they say, we're not answering questions on that topic at this time, it just really destroys the entire narrative of what's actually supposed to be happening. We got somebody in the chat right now. His name is Bogar Rescatando Storages. I met this gentleman at the swap meet today. Him, and I believe it was his boy, were out there, and they're out there vending. And we were talking before about taking that jump and being a successful seller. He's growing his YouTube channel. And I told him, I said, hey, if you jump into the chat today, I'll tell people to check out your channel. He does storage units. So if you're interested in storage units, go check him out. Now, I haven't seen any of his content yet. I don't know if he's tipping over elderly people or something on his channel, but he seemed like a really nice guy. He gave me some great deals, and we're actually going to be checking out some of the items that I got from him last week. Sorry, brother, I'm going to make a few bucks on some of your items. We're going to take a look at some of the items that we got last week from his booth that he had out there on today's show as well. But thank you for that, for stopping in. So, guys, eBay, we were talking earlier about traffic month. And when they mentioned traffic month, I'm like, that's a little bit interesting. I want to know more about it. And what they did was they went ahead and put together a video talking about SEO and talking about a few other things. Let's go and take a look at that 60-second video real quick.
Hi, I'm Audrey.
And I'm Teresa.
She's from Google.
And she's from eBay.
Today, we're going to tell you how to get your eBay listings to show up on Google.
Google handles trillions of searches per year. Many of these searches are from people looking for items to buy. This is good news for eBay sellers.
That's because eBay and Google have teamed up to make sure that your fixed price listings show up on Google Shopping.
Like here, here, or here.
You can do 2 things to make sure this happens.
First, make sure your photos don't have any watermarks. It's important that images show your product with no additional marks, logos, or text.
And second, be sure to use the GTIN when you list. That's the unique numerical identifier for your product. eBay sellers should always include this number when they list. That's it, short and sweet.
Say no to watermarks. Say yes to GTINs.
By following these tried and true methods, you can get more customers and more sales.
Now that's a really cute ad, and I hate to use that word "cute," and I don't mean it due to the actual people within the ad, but I feel that eBay, I hate to say this, keeps treating us like children, keeps talking to us like we're stupid. I don't think it's too difficult for them to step up to the plate and be a little bit more cleaner and a little bit more professional and understand the audience that they're talking to, and just come out and say it. Hey, some of your listings could use some work. Today, we're going to talk about a few of the things that you can do to make sure that your listings go from eBay to Google. And then just knock it out. Just bang it out. We don't need that cutesy, fluffy, ooh la la music. We don't need the rainbow of colors in the background. Give us clean, direct information. We're going to have a really brief talk right now because this is something I've talked about quite a bit, about what you can actually do beyond what they told you in that video to increase your chances of moving your listings across to Google. If you missed the shows that I did after eBay Open, the 2 that followed eBay Open last year, please go back and watch those. We went hyper detailed on what you can do to do that. First thing, the very clean white background. I know some people will say, Jay, well, what about if you have a white item? You can't put that in front of a white background. And you know, to these people, I keep telling you, I'm going to show you a listing right now. You can do it. It's not difficult. Okay, here's a listing right here, and this is a perfect white background, but the settings were done correctly. Look at this ultra white figure in front with a white background. Now, I used some of the elements that came with the item to help fill in the area, but overall the item is white. Here I'll give you another example. This is a black and white image, or black and white figures in front of a white background. Take a look at that. Okay, so it's 100% possible to get a high quality image with white backgrounds. So you should always use white backgrounds. Now, I understand some people are going to say, well, certain items photograph better in front of other things. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Okay, but as far as getting your items to shuffle from eBay across to Google, you're going to need to do that. I think that they may have said it in the video, something like 13% or more of items never make it across. And I believe the number is much higher than that, but they're not going to tell us that. Okay. On top of that, structured titles. Make sure your titles make sense. Brand, type of item, size, fit, whatever it may be, make sure your titles are structured correctly. Get words like new and used out of your title. They do not help you at all. They can only hurt you. None of my listings should have those words inside of it. Now, the only exception is if you have a brand where the word new is part of the brand. You should keep those titles very clean and very tidy. More item specifics when you have them. The more specifics you can give an item, the more likely you are to show up when people use left-hand refinement. Keep in mind, Google is adopting left-hand refinement within Google Shopping over all of 2020. They're adding more and more specifics to it. So if I have a listing that imports from eBay to Google, and I have size, color, shape, whatever it might be on my item specifics, when they look for that item on Google and they start using left-hand refinement, I will also get excluded from Google Shopping if I don't have the correct item specific they are seeking. Okay, you will see a lot of overlap as far as Google item specifics and eBay item specifics. It's just for that reason. More can be done to improve your rank as well. Okay, so just keep at it. Better photos, fuller listing, better sites, okay, having good impressions across or being posted onto good sites. A listing's going to have much more exposure on eBay than it's going to have on eCrater or PG. And more options that consumers want. We've talked about this before, whether it be maybe you decide to offer returns, okay? Maybe you decide to offer free shipping. If you have the options that consumers want at your disposal in your listing, guess what? You are going to rank higher both on eBay and Google Shopping. Okay, keep these things in mind. Don't be lazy when you make your listings. Make them good, make them count. You only want to make a listing one time, right? Don't slack off, because if you do, you're going to have to make it 2 or 3 times. Mike T says, Jay, how is it possible to find if any of our listings are showing up on Google? Search for them. Yeah, go and try and find your own item on Google. That's the easiest way to do it. There is no system in place currently for eBay to report to you which listings are not indexing. And I asked them at eBay Open, I talked with the item specifics, the lead management for that department, and they said at this time we have no way to notify, frankly, no interest, no way to notify sellers of which items are not indexing. But I will tell you right now, if you look at a hideous listing, because when was the last time you saw a crummy item photo on Google? Okay, for Google Shopping. It does not happen. Oh, we got Bogar's son. So now here's the other thing. Okay, I said it was father and son duo out there at the swap meet. That Vanessa Alcatraz, he started a new YouTube account. He only has 10 subscribers. Throw the guy a bone. Check out his channel. I think he's going to become a reseller when he gets older. I think he's only like 10 years old. Check out his channel too. I told him I'd give him a shout out as well on here too. Okay, so check it out. Check him out. But yeah, that's what you can do to increase the overall quality of your listing. Now, we're going to talk real quick about the USPS rate increases and the new loyalty program. Okay, there's 2 things happening at once with the USPS. Like I said, in the title card, it's a news overload. We have a lot of stuff we have to talk about. USPS international rates are to go up in July. Okay, so it's important to know that. And USPS has a new loyalty program. It says, the notice states that the loyalty program applies to postal service business customers using Click and Ship for Priority Mail Express and Priority Mail shipping at retail rates. Retail, okay? So if you're going to the counter or you're ordering direct from USPS.com, okay? Yep. Thank you, Mr. Exquisite. He made a great point right there to you, Mike. He said, make sure you do it in incognito mode so that way you're not pulling up your own stuff. If you have looked at your own listings before, they're going to cache or index somewhere on your computer or within your search. And that is a great pro tip. Thank you for that, Darren, or Mr. Exquisite. I appreciate that. So here's the new program. Remember, retail rates. On January 1st, 2021, USPS will expand its 3-tiered program. Why is that so far? Oh, that's not good. So that's not happening until January 1, which leads me to believe there might be some significant changes to shipping between now and then to where retail might look enticing. That could be very scary. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate that. I try and be careful with that. On January 1, 2021, USPS will expand into a 3-tiered program for basic shippers. No minimum amount that you have to spend. You will earn $40 credit for every $500 spent. Okay. If you are at the silver level, you will get, if you have to spend at least $10,000 a year in shipping. Okay, and that's about what I spend right now. You'll earn $50 credit for every $500 spent. So if you're spending $10,000, what do you get? 10% back. You'll get $1,000 worth of free shipping credit. But remember, retail rates. So yeah, it's not that great. And if you spend $20,000, you'll get qualified for commercial-based pricing. What's commercial-based, you might ask? It's that thing that we already have through Pirate Ship and PayPal, and if you're a top-rated seller on eBay, or if you pay $9.99 a month through stamps. You only have to spend $20,000 a year on retail postage, and then you get that rate. Big whoop. So as soon as I heard about a loyalty program, I got super excited because I remember back in the day I used to sell cell phones for AT&T, and they didn't talk about this, but we would get paid extra money by the manufacturers. We signed up for like the Blueberry and the Nokia and the Kyocera loyalty programs, and we would push in the UPCs and IMEIs on the back, and they would send us free phones and t-shirts and mini fridges and all kinds of swag. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, I could buy my shipping via eBay and then just input all my junk into USPS and get free stuff. No. You must pay retail price. So there's just no real reason to do it. Now, on the topic of rate increases, I reached out to the only brand that really matters right now, which is Pirate Ship, and I asked for a comment regarding this, and they said, we're doing everything we can to get updates from USPS about those rate changes, but sadly, we don't have anything super concrete at this time. We'll be sure to let all our users know through email as soon as we know so they can plan accordingly for their businesses. And that's one of the biggest things. When USPS rates go up, we have to keep in mind, we may have 100, 500, 1,000, or 10,000 items that may now fall into a point of pricing with shipping to where it might not be worth continuing to pay that monthly fee to have them online, or it might not be even worth it to pay for the shipping to get it out the door. Okay, yeah. So it's one of those things. We're gonna keep following up on it. We're gonna get things figured out on that here soon. Now, in little tiny bits of news that you guys need to know that I'm not going to dive into deep on, but we may come back around again here in the future. EPA has, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, has pressed Amazon and eBay to remove items deemed unsafe and marked as sanitizing and destroying coronavirus, including ones that release harmful gases such as chlorine dioxide. EPA is pushing hard because there's some really, really bad, really, really sketchy, and frankly, lethal listings on the site right now. And there's ones that have completed that are still visible on the site. So they're pushing them and saying, hey, fix it. And they're probably going to get fined for this as well. It's really interesting to know that, to kind of look at the relationship between brands such as YouTube and brands such as eBay. Because on YouTube isn't responsible for the content that gets put onto the site. So if somebody puts up something, really inappropriate for whatever reason, they regulate via the TOS. But if it doesn't violate TOS and just people just really, really hate it, they could just have things that are just very controversial. Let's say devil worshipping, for instance. Okay, there's nothing fundamentally wrong with people who want that, but that could make people really upset, and it could cause a little bit of an issue. YouTube would say, well, that's not our content. We don't deal with that. We only host content. Now with eBay, where it's a little bit different, eBay is essentially not really its own marketplace, but it hosts items on behalf of other marketplace sellers. Yet they are still impacted by laws and regulations, things such as price gouging, EPA, and other legalities that other brands, because I guess the way that publications and journalism work, are immune to. I would like to see a little bit more deregulation on marketplaces so that actual sellers could get impacted for illegal activities and not the brand. Because when the brand gets impacted by illegal activities, guess who takes the fall for it? The entire fucking company, the entire brand, the entire seller pool takes the hit, and we see rules and regulations come into place, even though it's maybe 0.0001% that are bad actors that are screwing it up for everyone else. Just my thoughts. eBay launched dark mode on Android phones. Dark mode is our customers' most requested app feature so far in 2020. You know my most requested app feature? Sales and an easy listing process. Today's digital users know only too well that bright screens can cause eye strain. When eye strain is prolonged throughout the entire day and into the night, our sleep patterns, focus, and overall health can be negatively impacted. Thanks, eBay, for putting dark mode on our phones. Only half of them. And you know what's really funny? They launched that app on iPhone first that makes your backgrounds white, and then they launched the feature on the Android phones that makes your screens black first. I don't understand why they can't do dual launches like every other reputable, are they even a Fortune 500 company anymore? I don't even know. Reputable Fortune 500 company can do simultaneous launch. They, for some reason, haven't done it once yet. So maybe they'll get it on the next one. California may launch antitrust investigations into Amazon. The European Union has already already has one underway. I'm going to go ahead and read a verbatim for you. California investigators are examining Amazon.com Incorporated business practices as part of an inquiry into the tech giant, according to people familiar with the matter. The state's review focuses at least in part on how Amazon treats sellers in its online marketplace, these people said. That includes Amazon's practices for selling its own products in competition with third-party sellers, one of the people said. Neither Amazon nor California has disclosed an antitrust investigation. The European Union regulators, who already have a reputation as the world's most aggressive watchdogs of the technology industry, have determined that Amazon is stifling competition by unfairly using data collected from third-party merchants to boost its own product offerings, said the people who spoke on the condition of anonymity because the deliberations were private. Now, this is a concern that we've seen for quite a while now. If you remember, we had Leslie Hensel on from Riverbend Consulting. The first time she came on was about a year ago, and we talked about about the practices that Amazon was doing against its sellers to garner information to be able to boost their own sales. We also talked with Jeannie at eBay Open. We did a live at the middle of eBay Open. Great interview. Definitely go back and watch it, where she also talked about how Amazon would request information from them. They would want to see invoices, and then they would use those invoices. They would get the direct line, the phone number off those invoices, contact the manufacturers, and they would work out exclusive deals with them and pretty much undermine the work that the vendor had put in. These antitrust, anti-compete things. We're also seeing this. We've seen the effects of this in India. Do you remember when we talked about this about 2 years ago? How when Amazon launched in India, the laws were set up to where they are not allowed to compete against their own vendors. They cannot sell Amazon products on Amazon in India. Okay, it's definitely doable. Okay, and they said, hey, we have one of the largest emerging and booming markets in the world. If you want to come here and play, you need to play by our rules. And what they've tried to do to circumvent that is come up with alternatively branded names. So when you think of Walmart, you may also think of Mainstay. When you think of Costco, you may think of Kirkland Signature. These ancillary brands are another way of them to be able to circumvent the rules. But now we're starting to see a little bit of pressure coming in from some of the big boys and the regulators saying like, hey, you can't do that. Okay, you're becoming a monopoly, and if you really are about helping sellers along, you're going to need to make it a little bit more inviting and get the heck out of here. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Bonanza is going to launch a seller advisory panel. I don't know if you heard about Bonanza. It's another site where you can supposedly sell things. I know some people who have 1,000 listings there, and they're like, oh, I get like 2 sales a year. And I wouldn't even do any amount of work for 2 extra sales a year. I'm sorry. I could just do like a 5% markdown on eBay and get an extra, 15 sales over the course of the month. Doesn't make sense to me. But the Seller Advisory Panel will provide critical insight and guidance on multiple levels of our business. First and foremost, they will bring a much-needed voice into the development of our product roadmap and our strategic planning. On a more tactical level, they will also assist with completing surveys, evaluating new tools, and sharing their business perspectives. I don't think Bonanza knows what they're doing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I appreciate that they're developing this seller panel, but there's so many strong voices within the world of reselling that they could have reached out to. And if you're going to create an advisory panel, strap some names to it. Be like, oh, we got blankety blank senior VP from eBay in 2005, and I'd be like, oh well, that's something. Get an influencer, a good one. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm sorry, but get a good reseller influencer and get them on the panel too. Get people that have been accomplished in other fields, and you can toss their name out. Not Gary Vee, because I don't think he's good, but something of that brand weight within the category would be the right way to do this. Get people excited about Bonanza and start working with influencers and affiliates. It's the only way they're going to be able to fix that. In other small news, Turbo Lister is going to be discontinued. I don't know if you heard about this. If you use Turbo Lister, I don't know what to tell you. I feel really, really bad for people. I believe Auction Professor uses Turbo Lister. And there's some people that manage 10, 15, 20,000, 30,000 listings through Turbo Lister. And the reason why is because, let's say I sell key fobs, and they do really well in the holidays, but I don't want them listed year round. So I only want that listing up through October, November, December, and maybe half of January. Turbo Lister would allow me to pull that listing down, save all of the information, and then come back in October and run that same listing again without having to do anything. Just click, 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 and boom, there it is. All my photos, all my details, and everything. It's a fantastic piece of software for those who want it, and I believe it was free too. Now, eBay is discontinuing its usage, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of reason as to why here at the end, but they put this thing out. They said 5 things sellers should know about Turbo Lister retirements. Sellers can continue to access Turbo Lister on their computers and receive support from Advanced Apps team, Turbo Data at eBay.com until July 13th. So you have roughly a month to be able to continue to use it. After July 13th, sellers cannot use Turbo Lister to upload items to eBay. After July 13th, sellers cannot download data from eBay into Turbo Lister. eBay will stop updating TurboLister, so category IDs will go out of date. Now, this statement right here leads me to believe that we're going to see some category changes on eBay's fall seller update for 2020. Don't forget, we have one more update coming, and it's going to come next quarter before the end of the year. It's going to be a robust update. It's going to include managed payments, from what I believe, category changes, and the last thing, it says eBay recommends 6-bit as an alternative, but sellers must pay a monthly fee to use 6-bit. Now, surprise, surprise. Okay, surprise, surprise. TurboLister hasn't always had the best relationship with eBay. Okay, they use the API, they pay their monthly fee, whatever it may be, but eBay isn't really making anything off TurboLister. And last year when I went to eBay Open, I didn't see TurboLister there. And I walked all over the place and I didn't see them at any of the booths. Who did I see though? 6-bit, with a massive booth in one of the premium spots within the open walk-around area. I know that eBay is making a fortune working with 6-bit, and whether it's just them showing up for those events or lining their pockets on the back end through the API, I feel that almost this is entirely just for the money. Okay. This is the third brand, I believe, we have seen pushed by eBay over the last 6 months. They want to make that affiliate money for themselves on the front end rather than open it up for influencers on the back end to generate the money working with those brands. We've seen it happening already. It's going to continue to go that way. And to add credence to that mindset, eBay pretty much nerfed their affiliate program that they had running for years over the last, 30 or 60 days. But now they said they plan to launch a new affiliate program for sellers. I don't know why. I have no clue what's going on. What is 6-bit? 6-bit is a multi-lister tool that I believe allows you to list to multiple platforms at one time and has a lot of the similar features as TurboLister had. I don't know how much it costs per month. I think it's based on the cost or the quantity of listings that you have. They seemed like nice people when I was there, but with all new technology, I always tell people err on the side of caution and use it at your own risk. Just remember, you do have to give full access to your account through their API for that to be linked up. I don't think that there's any reason to not trust 6-bit. I'm not saying that at all. But with any brand that you give that trust to, just be careful. That's all I have to say. Good to see you, Donna. Hope you are doing well this evening as well. Guys, we're going to be moving over to my favorite part of the show. You guys know what's happening now. I wish I had a drum roll for you. I built this new little splash screen intro thing. I didn't get a chance to get it finished. We're moving to pickups. Oh boy, man. It's been, 4 months since I've been able to show you items? Lift them up, get excited about them. God, I hate the air in here sometimes. I'm fine unless I'm talking nonstop. But if you haven't tried it, try talking nonstop for 60 minutes. Very welcome, Donna. Send me a DM sometime. I want to check in on your business and see how you're doing. You've been a patron forever. Let's do a free store review for you and make sure everything's looking good, okay? So, some of you might not know, California is somewhat open. We're on phase 3 right now, which means that I am not only allowed to go out and get a haircut, but I can actually sit down and have a steak dinner as long as the person I'm eating with is at least 6 feet away from me. Times are good in 2020, and you don't realize how good you had it in 2019 until everything gets stripped away from you, including all your freedoms. But we can still scrap for some of those, and we can still fight for them. But in the time being, I decided to go out to the swap meet. I went last Sunday, and those are the items we're going to be looking at today. And I went again this Sunday, and we're going to be looking at those items next week. Now, these trips were very, very special for me because my lovely girlfriend, who I rarely talk about on air, has made that leap of faith that we talked about earlier in the show and is going to give it her best effort to become a professional reseller. She listed her first items on Mercari, and I couldn't tell you how happy I was. She doesn't know this, but I took a picture of her while she was listing. It's so adorable. But she's listing some items up. We're going to take a look at some of the items that she has listed up, and we're going to take a look at some of the items that I got. And I'll tell you, next week's pickups, the items that we got today, she crushed it. She found some items within the animal category that I had no clue about. She's a former vet tech assistant. I had no clue about these items, and we're talking like well over $100 worth of profit for maybe $3 or $4 spent. Really, really good stuff. Definitely tune in week after next to check that out. But let's take a look at some of the stuff I got. I'm so pumped, guys. I haven't showed you stuff in forever. Now, a friendly reminder to anyone who is a patron of our show, if you see something you like, don't forget, you can buy that item from me at cost if you promise to keep it. If you sell it, I will ban you for life. But if you're buying it for you and you say, I want to have this for myself, or maybe I know somebody that would really love this as a gift, all yours. Whatever I paid, you can have it. As long within reason. Don't take a $400 item from me for $3, okay? Let's be realistic. That money goes right back into the system. Money from Mars says, haha, look at Jay. You sound so excited. I am pumped, my friend. And I hope you're doing well. Good to see you here again too, buddy. We got it's so much dumb stuff. But that's the name of the game, isn't it? That is the name of the game. We'll start off with something cool. Check this out. I found this inside of a camera bag. And I don't know if the guy knew what he had, but there was this big camera bag. And I'm like, hey, how much is this? He's like, oh, give me $10 for the whole thing. I'm like, oh, I only want this. And this is a really, really cool Minolta vintage spy camera. And boy, am I always happy to find these. This is a Minolta 16. And if you look this up, they vary in price quite a bit. And the really clean ones, the ones that have been tested and functional and come with the case, I believe I'm going to get over $60 for this bad boy. I did see a couple of examples up in that range, but if you go online, and I know people always like to fight me on this, and they'll say, well, look, there's ones here for $10, $15, $30. Great. I pay no homage to that. Even with that car lock. Remember that big old hunkin' car lock? Somebody's like, you can get one for $35. And it was, and I don't mean to sound that, I don't mean to say it that way in a disparaging tone. What I mean to say is that unless you have the specifics on the item number and you're willing to play that long game, you can get those big bucks. I will get over $60 for this by the time this sells. It even has the wrist strap too. Super, super clean condition. I really, really love finding these nice and tidy without any scratches on the front or back lens. It's probably been inside of this little slip case for the better part of a decade or more. Just a lovely little find. I want to say I paid $3 or $5. Might have been $2.50. I got a handful of items all from the same seller. I picked this up from it as well. I didn't realize how expensive Mighty Putty was, or any of the associative products with this. The cheapest one of these available online right now is like $35. And I popped it open. All the tubes are in here. Every bit of it is in here. So we got I think it's 3 tubes, plus some instructions as well. Some gloves, a mask, and something else. They're fresh. They look very malleable. They don't look dried out or anything. I think I paid $2.50, maybe $3 for this. I'm going to ask, I think it's right around $30, but I am going to check comps like Home Depot and Walmart and stuff to that effect, just to kind of see what the actual market value is. Completed sales on eBay, anywhere between $25 and $35 for this item too. Surprise, surprise. And this is a real easy thing to walk past and just, oh, it's just some putty. It's no big deal. Good money on these. I got this. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a door jamb. Anyone want to blow my mind right now? This actually took a little bit of work. Don't go looking it up or anything, but this is called a Tuffy. If you know what this is, I'll be very impressed. Very, very impressed. But this is not a door jamb. So I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds to marinate on that one. I think I got this for free. And it's only worth maybe $6 to $8. No sweat off my back because I didn't pay anything. It's going to go out to the yard sale. If nobody guesses it right, then the next minute I'll tell you what it is. I got this for free too. It's part of some other bundle. It's a little Sally keychain. This is just going to go to the next convention. I'll ask $6 at a convention. It's worth $9.99 on eBay. Probably get $8, $9 for it on Mercari if you wanted to sell it that way. What else do we got? Any guesses? No guesses. Whoa, guys, come on now. You can at least try. I got these super cute, look at these guys, Zoobles. Okay, these are knit, plush, stuffed animals. Yes, Donna. Donna is correct. It's for splitting logs. After you've done a little bit of axe and you just jam this bad boy in there and then you hammer it the rest of the way, it's like for falling trees. It's really, really great. Great job, Donna. I'm impressed. So yeah, I got this adorable Zoobles cheerleader and football captain, this pair, and they got the branding on the back. They're in great shape, super soft. This pair sells for $35 on eBay, and there is completed sales. Individual sales happen as well. I believe I got the pair for like $2 or something filthy cheap, easy money, super clean, great condition. Whenever you see easily branded plush that are clean, look them up, okay? We got a bunch of clothing and clothing-related items. We ran into one vendor in specific who was offering things for it very cheap, very, very cheap. And because we are building out my beautiful girlfriend's web business right now, I decided to venture out a little bit further into categories I don't generally touch, just because we're starting her out on Mercari, which is a great place to start. And visual items do really well there. So items like this, nice, bright, colorful scarf. I believe this is branded as well. It's a good brand. This is Old Navy. These types of items do well. It has a little bit of sparkle in there too. And they photograph exceptionally well online. We also got a cashmere one. I believe this one's a Banana Republic or something to the effect. But yeah, this is a cashmere scarf coming into winter. Yeah. Banana Republic. Look at that. And we got this scarf. I think this was $1 or less for the cashmere one. We also got a sock monkey one. This one was also less than $1 and has the sock monkey handle on both sides. Again, very visually pleasing. Now the cashmere one's going to go to eBay, possibly, maybe Mercari, but we're looking at about a $20 bill on the Banana Republic one. We're probably looking at about $10 to $12 on the Old Navy. We're looking at about a tenner on this sock monkey one. Sock monkeys is another one of those categories that's dying right now. Don't invest into sock monkey stuff, but if you can get it for filthy cheap, there's still a little bit of time to make some money. And this really pretty kick-ass beanie. What brand is this one by? AEO? I'm not familiar with the brand. Oh, American Eagle. Really high quality, knit, super big palm on top. This will yank in $20. It's super clean, super neat looking, great color scheme on that. And then from that same vendor, we got a stack of baby hats. These do well in lots. We got Gerber, Carter's, Toys R Us or Babies R Us. We got a handful of different ones. And they're super cute. We got a couple of knit ones. There's another knit one that she already listed up onto Mercari as well. And this whole stack will probably generate $30, $40. Nothing too crazy. And we paid $5 for the whole stack. But they're great sources of feedback. And they're low-risk items. You don't have to worry about returns and complaints and stuff to that effect. You list them. People know exactly what they're getting. There's nothing that's going to break. As long as the stitching is sound, you send them out. Good to go. No big deal. But good stuff, though. Great prices on all of that. I think altogether we spent about $10 on all that clothing. And they actually gave me another item I need to fish up, which I will here shortly. I got these. Every now and then I see like really wild cables. And I got these from the guy who was commenting earlier. I thought, because I've seen similar cables, I said, if you ever see something wildly specific, look it up. And look at that connector on that thing. I've never seen a connector like that before in my life. And I said, okay, that's got to be worth a few bucks. And I looked them up, and these are absolutely worthless. I don't even think that stripping them for their cables are even going to be worth a darn thing. So I'm going to chuck them out at the next yard sale. I paid $0 for these. That's all right. They're going to go out. But I've had random cables fetch $50 to $70. If you're getting them for free, go ahead and pick them up, figure it out later, read the cable, the sheathing, and figure out what you got, okay? But if you see weird connectors, it's worth looking at even a little bit. Now, we got 2 books from that gentleman that was here earlier as well. One of them is Improvised Ninja Smoke Devices. This is a legitimate book. Like, this actually has instructions for creating improvised smoke devices for ninjas. This is about $15 to $20 is what I expect to get on it, just because of the printing that this is. This might even be a first run on this one. But I got this one for free. We also got another book, which I believe she took home with her. It's a book on macrame, and we paid $0 for that one. That book sells between $18 and $22. I guess macrame is making a big comeback right now. So oddball books, always stop and look them up. I'm going to turn my air up again, because apparently 74 degrees is not enough. Now, those of you who are patrons know about Tokidoki. It's a brand that we've been talking about for a little bit over a year now, partly because we all participated in a large bulk buy to be able to corner the market on a specific piece, and it looks like that's going to be coming to fruition here by this holiday season, thankfully. But while I was out, I did actually find a couple Tokidoki pieces the first day that the swap meet opened back up again, which is incredibly rare. I almost never find any Tokidoki pieces out in the wild. If you're not familiar with what they look like, here is one. This is one of the, I believe it's a 5-incher. This one right here is worth about $18 to $22. It just needs a little bit of light touch up. And then I also found this one as well. I couldn't find an exact comp on this, so this one's probably going to go to the swap meet too. I paid $2 for this one, going to get $20 on the back end, and I think I bought these two together for $1. Yeah, so I don't know what this is, what brand this is. When I picked it up, I thought it was another Tokidoki piece, but it isn't. It's just a little bit weird looking. It might be some type of, I don't know, high-end art vinyl. You know, people collect the weirdest of things. Maybe somebody can recognize that logo there on the bottom. Come on, camera, focus for me. Gosh, let's do it this way. I have no clue what that logo is, but if you know, thanks. Super cute. Yeah, I know. This is a great little piece. If it wasn't worth $20, I'd probably chuck it onto the shelf. Let's see what else we got. I picked up a bunch of these. These are micro travel USB 2.0 multi-port splitters. The plan with these is to run a couple of these to Mercari and run a couple of these to eBay. Every single eBay listing I saw has the word 4-port. Just the way that it's printed onto the package. That is not good enough because eBay does not allow it to show up when you type in 4-port. It does not pop up within search. So if I am the only one that has 4-port on my search for eBay, I can probably get the appropriate price of $20 for this item. It might be a little bit rich. I may be able to pull it off on Mercari just because of the... I wonder if my air is ever going to turn on. Just because of the nature of the platform. Come on, air conditioner. There we go. I paid $1 each for these, and I believe I got somewhere in the area of 20 units, 15 units, something like that. Good value over time for sure. Now, the guy that I bought the spy camera from, I did buy a few other items. He's the same guy that I got the putty from. I bought this scarf, and the only reason I bought this thing is because this looks really nice and really delicate. I haven't ever seen one this fine and this nice in my entire life, and it was inside of a dry cleaning bag, which gave me a lot of confidence that it's been well taken care of. I don't know what it's worth. Hopefully there's going to be a brand on it. I'll follow up with you. I don't feel like digging it out of the bag right now. Follow the page. When it sells for buku bucks, I'll make a post about it. Oh, yes. I got this one too. This might even be a keeper for me. This is a Sunset brand mini tripod, and it's a full metal construction, which is great, and it has this nice little gear assembly to run it up and down. And these legs, I was blown away. Look how far that extends. And it's also small enough to be a desktop tripod as well. And desktop tripods are really popular. I looked online at the keywords. No one has the word desktop or small within their search terms. And I believe, because the comps are around 30 to 35, I think if this is done correctly, it could fetch $60 to $80. And you will hear me say that a lot. And I kind of feel a bit more confident in making those statements, obviously from the library of work that I've done on eBay and Mercari. But over this last month, I've had to create, and even working with Daniel, because I told you I'm diving into the vinylmation category, we've had to create somewhere in the area of 300 unique and brand new listings. So we're not clicking sell one like this. We're creating brand new, never before done listings with fresh keywords in the title, fresh item specifics, fresh photos, everything. And I have seen some ridiculous velocity. You saw that listing that I showed earlier with the black and white figures that sold for $200, and that's one of 3 sets that sold within the last 24 hours. and within the first 48 hours of being created. So really good photos and really good titles will carry an item. And I've said this before within the page. I said, are your photos creating consumer confidence for the item that you are selling? Are your photos encouraging buyers to commit and make that buying decision? If your item is gorgeous looking and it can evoke that emotion for them where like, wow, this is a beautiful thing. I want to own a beautiful thing. And you can do that through your photos and you can do that through your titles and descriptions. You're going to increase your sales velocity. Okay, more than anything else, just make beautiful looking listings. And this, done correctly, can be an absolutely gorgeous photo online. And I know we talked about this before about doing the photo contest. I've been busy, okay, a lot going on right now. But we should launch that here soon. We should do that this week. Okay, if you'd like to be a part of it, let me know. Okay, send me a DM or something. We'll make a post on Facebook. It'll be nice. But this might be my entry for that contest. I won't win, but I just want to compete. I picked this up. Are you guys familiar with CB lights? CB lights? I'm not really. It's a little bit dirty. Now, the thing with these lights is that they range wildly in price. I saw some as low as $25, and these are glass lights too. I've seen them as high as $200 for a single light. This specific model, this 1-35 CB light, is not represented anywhere online right now, nor could I find any good information on TerraPeak over the last 12 months about this light. I have no clue what it's worth. I paid $5 for it. Time will tell. I'm sure I'll post about it, but for $5 in with a minimum of $25 out, I'm okay taking the gamble because it could be up to, if not more, than $200 for a single light, which is just nuts. So if you know more information about this and you'd like to help out, send me a DM. If you help me make some good money, I'll give you 10%. I'm fine with that. I don't normally buy shoes, but when I do, I try and make sure they're cool looking. Check these out. I got some nice Converse. The thing is, I know sometimes it's really difficult to search things online, but I just typed in Converse. I think these are Chuck Taylor 2s, and I only learned that because I looked at the inside tag. These shoes are overall good condition. A lot of tread life left on the bottom. The outside just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. The inside still has a lot of the original markings, so it doesn't look like it's been worn like crazy. I'm going to get $50 for these shoes, and I paid, I want to say $4 to $8. The reason I can't remember is because this was part of another deal. I only look up really unique, wow, it smells like new shoes. I only look up very unique looking shoes or established brand shoes that I think I can do something with. Stuff like Converse, Chuck Taylor's, Gucci shoes, Prada shoes, like things that are just like easy, like Uggs, clean looking Uggs, easy bait for resellers. Those ones I'll look up. Or anything that looks particularly unique, really crazy colors, really crazy styles, really crazy design, I'll stop and look them up. Yes, they are, Rhiannon, or if you're interested in them, let me know. They are size 9 in men's. It says Woes. I think was that women's? Woes 11, UK 9, Euro 42.5. So, cool shoes. Now, the reason I don't know the price is because I bought it with another item. You won't believe what the other item is. You know what you buy when you get shoes? You always get shoes, and you get a Wii U with it, right? One pair of shoes and one Wii U console. So, I bought this Wii U during the absolute best time to buy them. I got the Wii Motion Plus controller. These are $40 flippin' right now on their own. $40 for one of these controllers. And thank you to Mike, who shared that with me. I did not realize how high those things had gotten. And then I also got the Disney Infinity Pad. No value here. I got a wireless sensor strip. Might be worth a tenner. And then I got the original power brick. Okay, so the power brick on its own is going to be worth $20 to $25 for an OEM one. The gamepad on its own is going to be worth $100. The console on its own is going to be worth $100. And I got everything together for $60. Now, if I want to sell the whole thing together, functional, I can. And he even told me, he said, hey, there's a game inside the console. And guess what, guys? I haven't opened up the console yet. So you guys want to see what game is inside of there? Actually, I haven't even tested the thing, too. I told the guy when I saw him today, I said, hey, I haven't even plugged it in yet. I don't even know if it works. He's like, really? I'm like, I've just been busy. And it's because I wait 1 week so I can show you guys the items first before I actually list them. So they've been sitting here, not getting listed and not getting sold. Guess what I'm doing tomorrow? Other than going to the gun range for the first time. I don't know if anyone else has decided to make that decision to run out and go get a gun this week, but I'm getting a beautiful Beretta, and I'm very excited about it. Okay. Any guesses on what game might be inside the console? I will approve that comment. Ashley Sim says, I have a random bolo on DVDs. The Stack and Tilt Golf Swing 4-disc DVD set, rare, out of print, Mike Bennett, Andy Plummer. Sold it less than 18 hours, paid 45 cents, sold for $37 and $3.99 shipping. Yes, there is a lot of educational and training type videos, like for specialty. Horseback riding, archery, hockey, polo, golf, any of these types of specialty expensive sports, those training DVDs can do very, very well. I would be more than fine if I got a copy of Smash Brothers. Mario anything, Zelda anything, Pokemon anything, first party Nintendo release anything. And I'm really, really hoping that when I plug this in that the lights actually turn on. And if you guys don't believe me, come on by sometime and see how I do my operation. I have no clue if some of these things work when I get them. So let's see here. Super Mario 3D World. Heck yes. That's what I'm talking about. And the console powered on too. That is what I'm talking about. Looks like it's got 1 or 2 surface scratches on the backside, but if this bad boy boots up, you can go ahead and throw another $20 right on top of the pile. And yes, that is a hit. Indeed, it is a hit. I am thrilled with that. Yeah, I'll be testing this tonight before bed, that's for sure. Let's get down on some video games. But yeah, very, very pumped. And you can see how dirty, look at this. This is how dirty and dusty this thing is. The back is dirty and dusty too, so it's going to need a little bit of TLC. At least the fan is spinning, so I got that going for me. That is huge. Heck yes. So between the game and the controller, everything else is paid for. Probably looking at $150 to $250 worth of profit, just depending on where the market's at on it. And that was picked up at the swap meet a week ago for $60. Oh my God, Bogar, you're still watching? You know, you're gonna learn all my trade secrets about what I get away with over at the swap meet if you keep watching. Okay, let me get this unplugged. Let's move on to the next item. What else? Oh, what else do we got? I got a Cadillac sleeve from Bogar. I don't know if this is worth anything, but I got it for free. I got a golf club handle from him for free as well. If I can't sell them, they're going to go onto the yard sale. But we made a few bucks there. And we got 2 items left. Okay, one of them, again, is another item that my beautiful girlfriend is going to be working with. And it's these super cute cat stockings. And they have little things here, you put them up for Christmas time. These on eBay are only worth anywhere between $9 and $11, but Mercari will get that crisp $10 bill. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, oh, it's not too big of a deal. Well, we got maybe a dozen of them, maybe half a dozen of them. So it's value over time, profit in your pockets, and you just kind of got to sit there and just keep relisting them as they sell. But these will all sell through. We got these for $0.25 each, I believe, is what we paid. So just, again, it's not huge money, but it's guaranteed money. And we don't have to worry about chargebacks. We don't have to worry about people wanting to return these because there's nothing that can break. You're getting exactly what you see in the picture. It's so darn straightforward. So for $2 in, you make, $7 on each one, 8 times over, $56 profit in your pocket. I'll take that every day of the week. It's free money. It's free real estate. Okay? And the last thing that I got for you here, so the lady that I bought the bonnets from, the scarves from, and I'm sure I got something else from her, I was looking down at this piece of electronics that she had. It's not in great condition, okay? Fully functional ones that are working with the power supply and everything, looking at $175 to $200. Now, I've sold broken audio equipment similar to this before in the past, and I believe I'm probably going to be able to get anywhere between $50 to $80 for it, depending on how it tests out. And it caught my attention because it was Bose. So we have a Bose BE-5B bass multiple effects switchboard and effects pedals and such. I paid nothing for this because I was looking at it and I said, I'm like, how much were you looking for on this? And they're like, just give us $5. And then I realized 2 knobs were missing and 2 sliders were missing. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't notice that those things were missing, so I don't think I can do much with it. She's like, just give me $3. I'm like, I really don't want to sound rude, but when they're missing, I don't feel motivated to spend money. She's like, go ahead and take it. Oh, I can't argue with free. I'll go ahead and take it off your hands. That works for me. So she gave it to me for free, and hopefully I'll get $50 to $80 out of the back. And I made her a promise too. I said, if I do good on this, I promise you when I see you again, I'll shoot you down some bucks. And she said, no, don't worry. I'm like, no, I insist. If I do well on it, I will take care of you. So those are all the items that I got last week. I was really thrilled with that haul. It's roughly $110 in is what I paid. And you can probably project anywhere between $550 to $650 out on the back end with everything totaled up and added together. Very, very thrilled with my first day back out at the swap meet. Next week's items are really cool. And I'm not just saying that to talk it up. There's items because, like I said, I know what I know. And when I brought her out there, she was showing me things that I didn't know, things that she specializes in. And she picked up an item that was a $50 scan in on Amazon. I wouldn't have even touched the darn thing. I thought it was the stupidest thing I have ever seen. And I wouldn't even pay $1 for it. If somebody was there, I'll give you a case of these for $1 each. I don't want that. And I'll show it to you next week. It's going to be a great, great item. Definitely tune in for next week's pickups, or 2 weeks from now. I'm doing it every other week, guys. I'm sorry. I can't do every week. It's costing way too much money to even do it once every 2 weeks, but I can handle it with the patronage that we have now. Transparency's sake, we are getting $535 a month through Patreon, and I'm doing 2 of these, and I'm not really even breaking even at that, but hopefully when we double up, triple up, quadruple up, I can do this every single week like I really want to. Now, every time we do a show, we always wrap up with the final thought on the week. And I appreciate those of you who stay, because some of you don't. No hard feelings. Maybe it's a little late where you're at over there on the East Coast. You got to tuck yourself in for bed. But for those of you who are new here, this is an opportunity for me to share with you just something that means something to me. Now, earlier in the show, we talked about making that jump into becoming a full-time reseller, the anxiety and the stress and things that come along with that. During the middle of the show, we talked about taking that extra leap and not just talking about doing things, not just putting up a picture of support, not just changing your photo for the day, not just liking a post by some influencer, but actually stepping up to the plate and saying, I want to be part of the change. Last week we talked about what are you doing to be the best partner you can be, and what does mindfulness actually mean for you? Today, we're going to talk about how to be a strong male within a relationship. And I know this seems like a very weird topic to jump across to, but it's something that's very important to me. It's something that I feel a lot of my peers are missing. Sometimes you'll hear a phrase get tossed around on the internet. It's called toxic masculinity. It's the idea that a man and his natural way of being and the way that society creates men is somehow an evil and it's a toxic thing. I personally strongly believe in traditional roles, ideals, and values within relationships. And I feel that the more that people get pushed away from good quality traditional values, and I'm not talking about this in a religious sense, the more challenge and controversies and problems it can cause within a relationship because the roles aren't clearly defined. Mike T, thank you so much for that. I will thank you privately after the show too. When I see problems within my relationship or other people's relationships, or when I see people jump to the internet and they profess the issues that they're having with their relationship, it really bothers me because I see a lot of this happening. My partner did this. They're the issue. They're the problem. They need to change that about them. They need to change the way that they do this. Every time I've had a problem within relationships, current, recently, previous partners, and more, I always try and step back and I say, what could I do to help fix this situation? What can I contribute to this existing problem to actually fix it? Okay? Because oftentimes it's really easy to say, yeah, my partner didn't do the dishes again. Okay? Damn, that's really frustrating. Okay? But as a male within the relationship, and you know what, if you're the female and you're the dominant one in the relationship, by all means flip it around. But as a male within the relationship, for me, I feel it's important to be a guiding light within that relationship. We're talking about things providing trust and safety, strength and leadership, ensuring that you have explained what your needs are within that relationship and helped and guided your partner to be able to make those needs achievable. Because either your partner can or they cannot, but you can either help your partner get there or you can't. One or the other. You can't have both. And oftentimes I see people miss the mark. If my partner chooses not to do dishes, why is she choosing not to do them? Where is the disconnect happening? How can I myself help my partner be the best version of herself she can be for us? What can I do? Maybe I'm applying too much pressure on certain things. Maybe there's just too much stress and other factors in her life. How difficult would it be for me to simply accomplish that goal and address it in a more constructive way? Or find different ways that my partner can contribute to the relationship that maybe don't involve doing things that she might not be a fan of. I see so many people point fingers and so few people sit back and say, you know what, thank you to my partner. I want to praise my partner. I saw one of our former patrons, his name is Juan. He put up a post maybe about 9 months ago to a year ago. And he said, this is my beautiful wife. I love my wife. She's amazing. Look how beautiful and wonderful and smart and the strength and the backbone of this relationship that she is. And I don't care if you're the male that's the breadwinner or not. It doesn't really matter. Your wife could be the breadwinner. It doesn't really matter. Okay? One person is going to be the guiding light within the relationship, and the other one is going to play a very strong support role. But it is very important to understand both roles are equal. One is not worth more than the other. The support role is just as valuable and crucial and vital as the breadwinner role is. Each person has their place. These clear and defined roles are very helpful. When you don't have your roles, you don't have your contract per se, it's very difficult to accomplish your job. Both people are trying to do the same thing sometimes, and frankly, it may not be needed. It's important to be vocal about what you need, okay? Even if it's difficult. One of the things that I've always struggled with, and you've seen me even on air, have difficult time talking with you about things that are really pressing to me. Imagine how I am within a relationship. Oftentimes we have these very lofty expectations of our partners because there comes a time where we would say, I just wish they knew, and I just wish they would just do or be that person. Well, if you're the strong one and you're the guiding light, you need to make sure your partner knows those things. Rather than just hoping and expecting, sit down and tell them, hey, these things are really important to me, and I could use your help and support in these ways. Or I struggle with this part of my day, or I struggle with these types of situations. Can you help me? And I'll tell you right now, I have never met a person that has seen somebody come to them in a vulnerable state and try and beat them down. Okay? If you come to somebody a little bit vulnerable, or if you come to somebody and say, hey, start out with an apology. I'm sorry I'm not able to be the person you need me to be within this relationship to help us get to the places that we need to be. Tell me what I can do so I can be a better leader or a better guiding light to get us to where we want to go. One of the things that didn't even dawn on me until about a week ago, I was having a moment with my partner and I realized when you become a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a fiance, a husband, a wife, but even just the basics, the boyfriend, girlfriend, you are looking at that person saying, you know what? I want to do this every day. Every day until I die. I want you in my life every day until I die. That's the plan, right? If you're dating somebody for 6 months, you're going to want to marry them eventually, and you're going to want to live with them, and you're going to want to do this forever. Don't lose sight of that. What can we do now to make that process to go from here to the finish line easier? Core fundamentals: communication, trust, honesty, faithfulness. Okay? Compassion, caring, sympathy. Trust me. Throw out an apology first. Curveball them tonight. Just walk up to your partner and say, hey, I'm really sorry I'm shitty at blank, but I do want to work on it because I care about you. It will be an absolute game changer for you. That's all I got for you guys. If you're the guiding light, stay strong, okay? Remember, and it's a hard role sometimes, but don't forget, your supporter, your partner in crime, the other one that's helping make it happen, you're nothing without them. You need them. It's a 2-person team. Make sure they understand their contribution is 50%. Okay? Never less. And if they are contributing less and you need more out of them, it's your job to tell them that. And if you're contributing less and you're wondering why your relationship isn't working, it's your job to step up to the plate. Either make it happen or walk away. That's it. Don't stay in a crummy relationship. Okay? There's no need for it. You're either going to be capable or you're not. That's really it. So, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you again to Mike T. Thank you again to Maui Delights for the $5 super chats from each one of you. Mike T says, thanks for the great show, Jay. Thanks for being a great audience, guys. You guys are awesome tonight. And Maui says, great info and advice. Thank you. You're very welcome. And I do want to continue on these deep dives with you on things that are actually passionate to me. Don't get me wrong. I love e-commerce. I love making money, but I would much rather talk to you about interpersonal relationships and human dynamics than USPS loyalty program. I'm going to be real with you. That's just how I feel. Donna Lockwood says, bravo. Thank you for bringing Brave and sharing this. More guys need to hear it. We do. Guys, it's okay. It's okay to suck at some things. We're going to get through it together. Thank you to you, Mr. Bogar as well. Rhiannon, great advice, communication, and trust is everything. Yes, trust is king. We can do it, guys. We can do it. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been the Reseller Roundup for June 14th, 2020. Volarama.com. Visit our Patreon. Sign up for something. Help the community out. Share this video. Like it. Tell your mom. Tell your brother. Tell your uncle. Tell your neighbor. I can't wait to see you guys in 2 weeks. We're going to have a great time. And yeah, go be the best version of you can be. And if you don't make that money, someone else will. Have a great night.